Hello, friends. You know, these are the historical events which happened in the operations management. Is that first during the industrial era, the first machine which was formed of that is steam engine in 1769, which was given by the scientist Mr. James Watt. This is where the actual origins of the operation management began. Here, the division of the labor began in 1776, and this theory was proposed by the scientist Mr. Adam Smith. The theory of interchangeable parts was proposed in 1790 by Ely Whitney, and this is how it is the era of industrial revolution where actually new industries birth was taking place in the 17th century, we guess 18th century. And the second era is of scientific management, where actually the principles of scientific management came into existence in 1911. And Frederick Taylor was a really very great scientist. He has completely revolutionized the operations management industry, and a lot of his rules and a lot of his technologies, a lot of research papers which Mr. Taylor gave, are being applied. The second time and motion studies in 1911 by Mr. Frank and Lillian Gilbert, uh, they also have completely changed the operations management industry. They gave a scientific management approach to the uh, to the operations management. Then the activity scheduling chart, which was given by Mr. Kunt, it is also called as Kunt chart. This chart actually was used by many large-scale industries to calculate what kind of activities need to be scheduled. And Mr. Henry Ford, what we call the owner of the Mr. Ford Motors, he has made the moving assembly line in 1913, and that was where the General Motors came into existence. General Motors is a big four-wheeler company actually, which has tremendously changed the four-wheeler industry by making motor the motor that could actually work. So in the moving assembly line in 1930s, 30, the Henry Ford gave a very good concept. And these are the two areas actually, the industrial revolution and the scientific management. So it is in the late 1790s. You don't see you see 100 years gap of industrial revolution. The scientific management directly came in 1911. Till that time, division of labor was there, and people used to manufacture the things by hands. And in the scientific management, still the labor was being used for the mass scale production, but still some scientific technologies were being used by the people. And the next slide will give you the information about the next era. And the historical events. The next historical events was about the human relations, which came up in 1913. Hawthorne studies and the Elton Mayo. Mr. Elton Mayo gave the Hawthorne studies the concepts actually to build up the human relations for the more productivity. Then the motivational theories, which came into existence for incentive kind of techniques and how to break the work. This came by Mr. Abraham Maslow, Frederick Herzberg, and Mr. Douglas MacGregor. Previously the laborers were treated as slaves, and the slaves used to work day and hard night, but they would not be able to give productivity. And the labor, so in order to take more and more work from the labor, the motivational theories came into existence. Uh, Many incentive systems giving the work on job wise, so that came into existence in order to motivate the people, motivate the workers, so that the production went high. So in the operational research is in the late 20th century, the operational research began. The operational research began with the linear programming techniques, which was given by George Dantzig in 1947. Then the digital computer came into existence in 1951 by Mr. Remington Rand. It was the first time where actually the computers began to be used in the operational research. In the 1950s, the operation research group, they made the techniques of simulation, waiting line theory, decision theory, and PERT and CPM, critical path method, and PERT techniques were designed in 1950s. So, in 1960s and 70s, Mr. Joseph Orlicki, IBM is the company International Business Machine, and the other companies which came up together in 1960s and 1970s, the MRP technique, EDI, EFT, and CIF. So all these techniques, these are the result of the operation research. All these techniques and technologies will be learning in great detail in the upcoming sessions. Each and every technology will be learning in the operations management. Thank you. Stay tuned.